Hello again, Meridians. Today I will tell you the story of how I became one of the chosen lords in Meridian59. But first I had to figure out how to actually do it, so I went around the world asking if someone knew how to create a guild, and I, as the new celebrity in this game, proceeded to get an answer almost immediately. Right? Well, actually no one said nothing to me, so I had to go on my own way and do some research. I was surprised to see how deep the guild system in Meridian59 is, and I also came across this super rare helmet that apparently lets you reflect spells back to enemies, so now I want one and I won't stop until I get one. But I also then proceeded to create the best and most powerful to be guild in all of Meridian59 history, and after thinking about the perfect name I had it. We would live up to Henry's legacy and become the best and worst guild this game has ever seen. I then went to get some gear as I would need it in order to gear and help whoever was joining us as Henrys in the future. I also grabbed some iron ore, which will allow me to make some of our guildies the newly patented shield design of the Henrys, which can now be shown around the world with pride. I also made myself one and went on that shit-ass quest I mentioned in chapter 1 so I could get an insignia attached to it and make it better for grinding spells, but while I was killing the skeleton I was asked to kill for this trash-ass quest, I happened to get lucky. Quite literally, since he was a super cool guy and wanted to join the Henrys, so I invited him and made him the first Henry to join our cause. After that I got ready to grind and level my spells, because now that I was a pro in this game I was required to go into this place, which requires you to have a scroll of illusion to spell or the spell itself in order to access it every time you want to travel there. Both of which I had none, so I started to level up my spells so I could get the Dispel Illusion one and travel there freely as many times as I wanted. At this point I got the true Asmongold experience, as I had someone giving me a shit ton of free reagents which you need to cast spells. I also got scammed after selling one of the keys I stole from Henry for only 5,000 shillings. But man, I guess that's just karma. After getting scammed I wanted to try my own luck, so I tried scamming this guy by selling him the free reagents I had gotten for absolutely free, but he unfortunately is not a monkey and saw through my intentions right away. Now I want to mention that I am, as of right now, actively trying to popularize a trash-ass 30-year-old game so I can make the best MMORPG story the world has ever seen. So I went ahead and messaged some content creators in the internet about it, and the one I expected the least to answer me was actually the only one that did. He told me this: so I said thanks for the feedback and will inform you all that this is indeed the first 3D MMORPG, since there were other shit text-based games before it. But let's be real, no one cares about them, so I will keep calling Meridian59 the first MMO in history. I went out and grinded my spells even more while I did some research on whatever content I could find about Meridian59, and I realized something. The videos I were looking at didn't look at all like the game I was playing. I mean, sure, the areas and spells they were using were the same, but something didn't feel right. I realized Meridian59 had done something for me no other game has ever done before. It had made me part of a bigger story, one that was not written by me or any other, but one where I was actively a part of, one in which I mattered. You see, I am a big nerd and have been playing lots of MMORPGs throughout the years, but I always ended up having the same feeling of wanting to get the same gear others had already gotten, or the same mount, or the same achievement, but I always ended up doing something others had considered a goal. And now for the first time I was setting the goals by myself. You see, in Meridian59 there are not thousands of pieces of equipment to choose from, or a million achievement to unlock. There is you, and the world. Most enemies drop the same loot and you can get access to the best gear in the game from the very beginning, as there are no limitations over who can wear which thing at whatever level. So the thing that will most likely make you want to keep playing is to discover the game itself. Meridian59 is not a modern game, and when it tries to be it loses all of its essence. You see, other games did not set the bar for Meridian59. Meridian set its own bar because when it came out, there was nothing else like it. And maybe you have heard how other games took inspiration from Meridian59 in order to make other games like EverQuest or RuneScape, but today I won't tell you how they took this inspiration. I will show you why they did it. But first I will tell you I'm now proudly a level 4 Cranon spell user and possess the ability to cast Dispel Illusion whenever I want, along with some spells that allow me to not get blinded or rooted in place, as well as some others I have no use for. So I went and killed some Luppogs because I had no regions to cast my new unlocked spell and no one was selling scrolls. This was okay because they can increase my HP, but they also drop plates, which is the best armor you can wear in the game, sometimes. But then I found this area. And I got extremely curious about what was hiding on the other side of that door, and so I did a little bit of research, and it was then when I found this. The King Luppog's hideout. I had come across one of the bosses hidden within the world of Meridian by accident, while exploring an area I would not have been in if I would have happened to have the regents to cast Dispel Illusion. This was the first time this happened to me. I felt like I was the first person to have ever found that place, and while it is obviously not true, it felt like it. There is no proof of the world in Meridian existing other than some mundane guides in Gilcon's page that have been forgotten. So now I have a new mission. To show the world what Meridian59 has been hiding for 30 years. I then went to farm some more regents for spells and some more gear, and while doing so I came across this guy that explained to me a bit about how the game is coded, which is really interesting. I also tried to scam him, but he ignored my offer and left, so I went to kill more Luppogs and other stuff so I could get even more gear for the soon-to-be Henrys. After this happened, someone asked if I needed more free regents, and I honestly did not, but I told him I did, so he gave me some more for free, which I sold immediately after for some quick profit. I went to kill even more Luppogs, and it was then when someone offered to help anyone in the broadcast channel. A couple of people asked for help, but I guess he knows I'm a superstar, so he offered to help me, and when he asked me what I needed help with, I had only one thing in mind. I had come to learn that in order to access the King Luppog's hideout I was going to require some help, as I needed someone on this side of the map to open this side and vice versa. So I asked him for help, and soon after that, I was yet again stealing from the original Henry. You see, the loot I thought had despawned in the last video turned out to be perfectly fine within the chests of the guild hall we took from Henry, and when someone else took that guild hall, the loot was still there. To my absolute luck, the person who did this happened to be my fan and offered me whatever loot I wanted from what Henry had left behind, so I took what I wanted and left. At this point we had already assembled a squad of absolute Giga Chad gamers in order to kill the King Luppog, and when we were going in, I saw Axel, told him to follow me, and without any other clue of what he was helping us with besides knowing it was in the sewers, he came with us into the King Luppog's hideout. Before we knew it, we were yet again facing that iron door that separated us from the King Luppog, only this time, we opened it. And into hell we descended. And while we were walking towards the King's hideout, he ambushed us in this narrow hallway to prevent our overwhelming numbers from giving us the upper hand, and started attacking. We fought bravely for a couple minutes while dealing with his mechanics, because yeah, some of this game's bosses have mechanics, and before we knew, he fell to our feet. Unfortunately for us, this also triggered a trap which made the ceiling collapse on us, so I started panicking and completely forgot to loot the boss. For my luck I did brought my chalice with me, which allowed me to safely escape from the deadly trap. Lucky didn't got so lucky because he is still a noob and still doesn't have a chalice, but it's okay because he only had this to say after dying. Word over our victory spread out quickly in Meridian, so we had Fat Mike join us as a Henry. I also invited AMG, which is a super feared player killer with a very bad reputation. I immediately gave him the highest rank of Henry's E-girl and my full and complete trust. He then proceeded to mug me and steal my scimitar only to leave soon after. He is the perfect fit for the job. After the new Henrys had joined, I had only one thing left to do. I bought us a guild hall so we can start to conquer the world of Meridian. I did not really know this place, but it was the only one available, so it will have to do for now. It also happened to have loot left behind from the previous owners, so it turned out to be fine. I presented the guild hall to the Henrys that were online at that time and proceeded to give them some quests which will help us Henrys in the future. So with the little dungeon master experience I've gathered in a very short time playing Dungeons and Dragons, am now the one true master of the future in our world and will be regularly posting quests for the Henrys in the guild to complete, among with some other events and whatnot that I can come up with. After all this, I only had one goal left. I have done it, and as of this moment I shall be known and remembered by this world as the one true Henry.